My name is David Jaffe. Welcome to the Wealth and Health Podcast, where you'll learn valuable skills and positive habits that will improve your life. This podcast originally aired as a video on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/beststockstrategy. The Wealth and Health Podcast is brought to you by beststockstrategy.com. NIO and Palantir are trash stocks, and they're not worth your investment at this time. NIO is way worse than Palantir. If you look at the chart on NIO, you can see that since 2021, it's gone from $60 to around $4. And then you have people like Invest with Henry, who's probably the worst stock picker on YouTube. Virtually every stock that he's recommended has fallen by about 90%. But the reason why these YouTubers end up pumping NIO and Palantir is for the views. They want to capture people's attention because people believe that NIO and Palantir are going to be the next NVIDIA and 10x their portfolio in a year. In my opinion, NIO is basically a dead company. Now, Palantir, on the other hand, is a legitimate company. I would 100% prefer to invest money in Palantir over NIO. The problem with these type of stocks that end up getting a lot of hype is that they have a lot of retail exposure and popularity. Palantir probably has a market cap of around $50 billion. For the amount of attention that Palantir receives relative to its market cap, it's probably one of the most overhyped stocks in the entire stock market. Now, Tesla, with the superstar CEO, was able to capitalize upon that exposure and their popularity. And I think at one point, Tesla had a market cap of around $1 trillion. With Palantir, they don't necessarily have that superstar CEO who's driving further investment into the company to bid up valuations. You can see that with Palantir over the past 2 years, it's basically done nothing. And if you go back to 2021, I think that Palantir was trading over $30 a share. You can see right here that Palantir was trading over $30 a share. So my recommendation for NIO and Palantir would be to totally forget NIO. It's a garbage company that has a very high probability of going bankrupt, or it can get acquired by a strategic competitor as a tuck-in acquisition. With Palantir, I definitely think that selling some put options at around $15, or if Palantir ends up falling, and you're able to pick up shares at around $15, and you're able to be patient, you can run the wheel strategy, sell some covered calls on it. I definitely think that that's the way to go, as opposed to buying into a lot of the hype. Because oftentimes what happens with a lot of these hyped up and overly popular stocks is that people take the plunge way too early. They end up bidding up the stock, and in this case, Palantir was bid up over $30 a share. It then collapses. And then only when these type of stocks like Palantir stagnate and people lose interest is it very likely that this type of stock is then going to shoot up to around $35 or $40 or $50 a share. Now, if they report blowout earnings, or if they're able to sign some lucrative new contracts with the US government that will significantly increase their predictable revenue, then yes, you'll definitely see a large increase in the stock price. But overall, I think it's very important to learn from history, and these type of stocks, which are overly popular, have a tendency to stall out, and then they tend to significantly increase in price once people have already lost interest. David Jaffe with beststockstrategy.com. Enter in your email address and receive over $400 of valuable free training. Leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts on NIO and Palantir. Visit beststockstrategy.com and submit your email address to receive valuable free training. Please give this podcast a positive rating and a review. If you have any questions, visit beststockstrategy.com and send me a message.